happy to have my guest, Aleksander Grover. Welcome. How you doing?
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Where are you right now?
I'm actually in Ukraine, in Lviv, Ukraine.
Okay, that's interesting. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later. Um, how to introduce you to the people? You are owner of the company. You are founder and creator of the
I wish.
the token, Hugot token. Yeah, you wish. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
So
I'm
tell me a little.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I'm Alex Grover. I'm the founder and the managing partner of Restack AI. So we're a IT consulting firm that specializes in Web3 and AI development. And we're also we created this idea for Hugo the parent, the token for Hugo the parent. And also in the future will be NFTs if everything goes right.
Okay, but you are American, right?
Yes, I am.
And you live in Ukraine.
Yes, I do.
It's a little bit strange story, but tell us a little bit about the difference between lifestyle in the United States and lifestyle in Ukraine.
It's actually, the funny thing is, it's not that different. It's just the dollar amounts are the only thing that are different. I mean, Ukraine is like America in the 1950s. Things are still developing here. Things are a bit chaotic. And like before 1950 in America, the food was all grown by local farmers and most of the shops were small shops. And then after that, America became this like corporate, there's Walmart everywhere. There's, Pizza Hut everywhere. There's McDonald's everywhere. Ukraine is like America, 75 years ago. It's fun. I was born in 1970 US before everything became like a Walmart and became a Sears and became, just there's a franchise for everything in America. But before there was always like small shops and we have a lot of that in Ukraine. We have like little corner markets, little street marketplaces, not very much regulation from the government. You have to be a little bit smart to live here, so it's not that's why I like it. So I wouldn't say it's so different. I mean, you can get doctor here, you can get dentist here, but I would say it's more relaxed. I would say that, but you would almost feel like if you were here in Lviv, you would almost feel like in some ways you're in the U.S. You would almost feel like it sometimes.
Yeah, that's interesting. I thought like Eastern Europe, it's like 30 years behind, but you told me right now it's 75. It's a long period, huh?
Well, this is Eastern Europe. If you go to Poland, or you go to one of the European Union countries, the ones that are inside the EU, it's caught up. I mean, if you go to like Warsaw, it's like being in Stockholm or Brussels or someplace like that. But if you go to Ukraine is not in this union, and the war has definitely set things back. They're moving in the right direction. But now with the war, like a lot of the things are on hold. But we've noticed like a lot of things are changing too. Like there's a lot of services have gone online. Some of the bureaucracy has gotten a lot easier. There is a fair amount of bureaucracy here. I would say in America, in many ways, the bureaucracy is a bit easier than here. It's not easy in America. I mean, but it's definitely not easy here. Here you have to, there's a lot of language barrier I deal with, for example, but you have to sometimes call a lawyer to find out because everyone has a different idea of what the rule is. The rule is like, it's hard to, in America, the rule is more clear. But here you have to ask the right person on the right day, to kind of, to get things done,
Yeah, but it's better or worse?
Different. I can't say it's better or worse. It suits me. But, when I go visit America, or someplace like that, there's a lot of things I like. I like how Amazon brings everything right to your door. I have to admit it's easy. You pick up the phone and people deliver stuff on your door. It's very convenient. life there. In general, the customer service is pretty good, and the roads are very well marked. Like here in Lviv, in Ukraine, they have some big roads and stuff, but sometimes on the small roads, it's you're risking your life. But I suppose it's the same in America. So I wouldn't say it's better or worse. It's just different. It's just it's like the people who moved to Alaska, right, or moved to Oklahoma. They're trying to get some frontier experience. I lived in Brazil for a long time, like for almost a year, when I was studying there and traveling. And I kind of felt like I was on the frontier, like,
Yeah.
you get me, right? It's like the same reason why people, I guess, go climb Mount Everest or something. They want to get out of the control and be in something different for a while,
Yeah, I understand you completely. How long you're living in Ukraine? Did you came before the war and during the war or after the war?
Before the
After
war, yeah, and actually I started building my apartment here during COVID, doing the renovation. So we were
Really?
breaking a lot of rules. Yeah. It's like people got to work, right? So
Yeah, it's interesting. Tell me about the war right now. Where are you living? It's close or it's far away? You're in jeopardy your security or no?
well, I'm in Lviv, like 1 hour from Poland, so we're very close to the European border. So we had a rocket attack about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it shook the apartment. That was and we've had a few of them. So I can't say we're totally far away from the war, but we don't have it nearly as bad as Kiev or Odessa or the cities on the east. The East Ukraine, they said it takes 750 years to clear all the mines with 500 teams of experts. If they spend $30 billion a year, it would still like take a long time to clean all that up. So we're fortunate here. And actually, there's been a lot of growth on this side of Ukraine. A lot of people resettled here to the west, because most of the problem in Ukraine now is on the eastern side towards the border of Russia. So I think the future here of this side of Ukraine is pretty promising. If you're looking at it from that perspective, the safety here, the economics. If anything is going to happen in Ukraine, it's going to happen here. So, but yeah, it's everything is with risks. I keep, when after these rocket attacks, you read about in America at Walmart, people, there are shootings at the Walmart, shootings at the school. So when I look at statistics, traffic accidents, I always use statistics. I'm an engineer. The most risky thing we do every day is cross the street. Statistically, that is going to kill us before rockets or before random shootings, is you have to be really careful when you cross the street. That's the biggest risk you take every day, is with your car or being near a car.
True. You are American, so we can assume that you choose the side, that you are against the Russian, that you are for Ukrainians. Maybe I'm wrong. Did you pick up the side or no?
No, it's obviously I'm for Ukraine and against Russia. I mean, and why is that, right? I mean, in America, you can express yourself. You can even talk against America. You can, show your finger to the flag, or you can, you can make your hair green, purple. You can be a man one day, a woman the next day. People might say something to you, but you're not going to go to a camp and you're not going to disappear at night. And the values that Russia is trying to bring is this kind of controlled society. They don't have this free expression. If the reason why they like Putin and Kim Jong-un and everything, their poll numbers. There was a cartoon or something the other day showing like Putin has very high approval rating, and so did Saddam Hussein, right? Because if you don't approve, you don't exist. So they attacked here without any reason. Ukraine is an independent nation. They have a right to decide who their allies will be and what values they will have. And then Russia just moved right in, and everything they touch, they turn into a wasteland. They haven't made anything nice here. They haven't made anything better than what was before. They made everything worse, and the people, even their own soldiers, are running away. And even if their own soldiers try to retreat, they get shot. So they have a whole line of soldiers ready to shoot the soldiers who don't want to fight. So we don't want that. I think the world has to understand that. And if Russia succeeds, then China's going to eye Taiwan, and China's already got a pretty good stranglehold on Africa, South America. They get people into debt, and then they get you owing them, and then they'll try to take over your institutions, take over your, and change, especially if they take over the media, they can change the public opinion, right? So, yeah, there's a lot at stake here, with this war. It's about the values. Can people choose their own future? Can people be themselves? Can people be different? That's what's at stake here. And there's societies that don't like that. The leaders want complete control. I mean, there's all this conspiracy theory against America, like, the deep state and all of this, but Russia is the deep state. China is the deep state. They censor everything. They check everything you do, and you can't even talk about it. So in America, the fact that you can talk about a deep state and talk about all this globalism and all this conspiracy theory, people are not disappearing because of this. It means the society is working. The opposition can have a voice. So yeah, I can talk about this all day long, but I guess our podcast is about something else.
Yeah. Sorry about it.
Yeah.
We're gonna skip on. I will ask you a little bit about Brazil. You live in Brazil. I lived in Brazil too, so I want to compare the experiences. What do you think about Brazil? It's good. Where did you live? In what province?
I studied at Getulio Vargas in Sao Paulo. Then I spent time in Rio. I was down in Ubatuba trying to surf. They have good surfing down there. Then I went all the way up north to Recife. And then I went all the way west to Porto Velho near the Bolivian border. I was working as a gaucho on a ranch. I wanted to learn how to ride horses and all of this. And let me tell you, when I rode the horse and there was this whole sea of cattle, 400 white cows, it looked like they were just following me. That just was like
amazing.
Because I had to take them to the place to eat. And I was like thinking, oh my God, if I fall off this horse. Oh.
I have the same experience in Argentina. It's amazing feeling.
Yeah. I liked South America. It was just very hard. I had an idea. I was studying in America. I went down to Brazil to study, and I had this idea to open an Indian restaurant in Brazil. My parents are from India, but when I started getting into it, the bureaucracy was so hard. This was like in early 2000s, it was just, it was very stressful. There was all these things you had to do, like to get a business license and everything. So it was like my school project to figure out, I was doing master's degree in business, and that was my project, doing the whole business plan to open an Indian restaurant in Sao Paulo and have it per kilo. I really like this idea that you buy food by the kilo in Brazil. I added so much weight there,
Yeah, I know everything about that. When you mentioned that your parents are from India, when I saw your face, I was thinking like that maybe you have the roots from the Libya, Lebanese. I thought that that you have that kind of face, like Lebanese, but you're from India, not your parents.
Yeah. No, I know a lot of people say that, like Italian, Lebanese, Iranian, but no one ever guesses Indian. But no, my parents are from the North India. Actually, they're from it's Pakistan now, where they're actually originally from. This area became Pakistan, and they had to move to India in 1947. So, but yeah, that was yeah. I've been over there too. That's a surreal experience.
India is amazing. Amazing. Tell me about Croatia. Did you visit my country?
Yes, a long time ago, in 2007, for a business trip, I was working for an investment company in Finland, and there was this town outside of It's outside of a Split called Luka Village. It's a small village, and they have all these small houses with like stone fences. And the investment company bought up 150 properties there to put it all together. And they had this idea to build like a resort there. I don't know what happened with it, but I was part of this project to buy it up. I think they're still just land banking. A lot of these companies just sit on this land and wait for the right time. But this was about, almost 20 years ago. Yeah, it was almost 20 years ago. It was like some Finns. And then I went to Rogagnica, and they built some apartment buildings in Rogagnica. It's another suburb of Split. It's like 20 minutes to an hour, I think, to the north, going towards Zagreb. So I was spending a lot of time in this area. And then on the Split waterfront, that's where we had the office in the same building as a British consulate. They were on the floor above us. So there was a big operation at the time to acquire all this land and for this investment house. So it was fun. This was before Croatia was in the EU. So it was almost like people were having restaurants in their living room. There was a lot of these like small restaurants, and the fish was really good. They caught it that day. And I remember the seafood was really, really good because I was living up north in Estonia that time and working in the US. And I never had fish like this. Like in America, the fish is frozen. Unless you live like right in Boston or you live right in Maine, the fish has been frozen. And when it's caught fresh and cooked that same day, it's on another level. And I really, really liked Croatia. When I first got off the plane, it reminded me of like Los Angeles, the hills, the Hollywood Hills. This kind of same kind of plants and same kind of look. So yeah, and that's why I really like working with Andrew on this Croatia project. I'm hoping this project will get us to Croatia one day. It's 300 days of sunshine.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You are talking about Dalmatian coast. That's the most beautiful part of Croatia. Everybody thinks that. Istria and Dalmatian coast. Split area. And most of them considered it's like one of the best places in whole world. They say that.
Yeah.
I think differently. I think differently because it's in Caribbean. For me, is better. Pacific is better. But I was born there, so I'm used to that. But foreigners, when they come, when they see that beauty, they fell in love. And a lot of foreigners lives in Split. And I understand it. Your future partner, the owner of the Hugot parrot, he is from Split, and I lived a lot of years in Split. So that's the destiny. I think you will come eventually. You will come to live in Split too.
Yeah, I definitely want the 300 days of sunshine because I lived in Norway before I moved to Ukraine. I was living in Norway for the last 8 or 9 years. I was working there, and I'm actually a Norwegian citizen, so it would be very easy for me to move to Croatia because it's EU, so you can just move as you please. It's like being in the US. You can just once you have a passport of one country, you can live in any country. It's that Dalmatian coast, as you say, and the food, the boats. But this is a problem, with the problem with Croatia for crypto projects is this: we compete with this nice weather. Crypto projects generally do well where the weather is not so good, where people are indoors and more oriented towards video games. But in Croatia, there's only 2 months of the year where the weather is not good. And then rest of the time. The weather is good, and who wants to be on the computer when it's like perfect weather outside, blue water, boats, good food. All your people are very social. It's much different than Norway, where I'm used to living in Europe. The people in Croatia are talkative and friendly and smiling and everything. Like in Norway, it's like you have to have a reason to talk to somebody. And that's even more so in Sweden. I lived in Sweden long back. That you really have to have a reason and have to have something to say, but you can just, it's like South America, I guess, in a way. It's like you can just start talking and, so people are not on the computer there enough, because crypto struggles, I think, in Croatia to some degree, because you're competing with normal weather. You're competing with good weather.
Yeah, for sure. But you should consider about opening or living in Zagreb. North of Croatia. There's not such good weather like in Dalmatian coast.
Yeah, you get more done, right? You get more done. But
Oh, sure. Talking about that, Andrea, and the owner of the Hugot Parrot. Let us explain what it's all about. You create the Hugot token, right?
yes.
A lot of people, they don't understand much about that. So if you can explain us, in simple words.
Okay, so this is how the idea started. One of my business partners actually lives in Split, and he got me introduced to Andrew and told me about this parrot. And originally, Andrew was interested in investing in our company, buying our token. Our company has its own tokens, but we haven't put it out on the market yet, not in big amounts. It's only held by a few people. And I told him, actually, he told me he had a parrot with 40,000 followers. And I said, actually, there's more potential in this market to launch a token for your parrot and use that money to start a foundation that saves African gray parrots, because Andrew is like Dr. Doolittle. He loves animals. He loves birds. He likes, it's his thing. He has cats, dogs. His whole house is like kids. Like I said, this would actually be some good way to use crypto and bring crypto to the world and to have people understand it, because right now people have only seen like crypto that some 18-year-old kids sell it and then they buy Lamborghinis. But this would be great that a parrot would have its own token. We sell this token, we raise some money, we create a brand out of it, and that could create a foundation, like a fundraising mechanism. A lot of people, they own these parrots and they don't know how to take care of them, and they give up. It's just like people when they buy a cat or a dog. It's a good idea at the time, but they weren't prepared mentally or financially or physically to take. It's like a lifetime thing, especially parrots. They live longer than the owners in many cases. And so a lot of them get abandoned, and then there needs to be sanctuaries for them. But also they have their natural habitats in the Congo area in Africa. And that would also be to fund buying land like they do in Brazil. They buy land and then they just put it aside for nature. Some foundation will buy it so they don't get chopped down or turned into cattle ranches. So that was like very near and dear to me, because you were talking about, I lived in Brazil. I was seeing a lot of this deforestation up close and personal. And the beef consumption, like in Brazil or America, it's through the roof. People don't need to be eating 60 kilos a year of beef, but that's what's destroying the forest, that people just, you only need like 100, 200 grams a week and you'll be more than healthy, but we wanted to, go back to the Hugo. We wanted to do something like that with this token. We wanted to get this token out there. It's cool. It's got a purpose. It's got a cause. But the challenge we've been having is like educating a typical YouTube user, a typical Skype user, a typical Facebook user how to do crypto. Because it is not intuitively easy. It's like the internet back in the early 90s. You had to know some computer stuff. You had to be a little bit of a hacker to do some stuff. It wasn't like it is now. You just turn on your Apple phone and everything works. So, but yeah, in general, the idea is to sell a crypto token. They have this one called Dogecoin. It's like a picture of a dog on a token, but it doesn't serve any purpose. It's just for fun. But this would be for fun and for a cause. And I was telling Andrew, what we could do is the existing following, they could be the early adopters. If we could convert educate this existing following about crypto, and they already care about parrots and everything, we could start a new trend, because this would be a lot easier fundraising than like selling t-shirts or selling coffee cups or selling a dinner or something like that. And they would get something memorable. And what the plan was, after everyone gets these tokens, then we would drop NFTs to people who hold a certain amount of tokens for a certain amount of time. So then we would drop, and those NFTs, which are non-fungible tokens, are equivalent to digital collector cards. They could be used in a game. We would build a game and people could play in this game. Like just a simple games, like racing or, like treasure hunting or something. And there'd be education. They would answer some questions. There'd be some points. there would be in a community with other people who care about African gray parrots. So we wanted to build this whole concept. But the challenge has been getting publicity, and then also we're going against, the crypto community itself is always in a scandal. There's one scandal after another, so getting people to trust it, it's been very challenging, so that's why we're here to kind of tell our side of the story.
Yeah. Tell me, let's go with the basics. A lot of people, they don't know what is token. They don't know what is NFTC. They don't know nothing about it. So can you explain what is token, for example?
Well, the token is like the token is like the Bitcoin, right? It's an electronic, in the most simple terms, it's like an electronic marker. It's just like a dollar bill, right? It's just a unit of accounting that, okay, I have this and it's worth some amount of money. I've given you some money in exchange, and you store it in an electronic wallet. So it's just like you say, it's a token. It could be like a euro coin, but it's a digital version of it. And there's a serial number on the blockchain. You can check that it's real. Like if you have European currency, they have some security measures in the money or something to say that it's real. But this goes again. So you can look it up on the blockchain and you can see your token there on your wallet, and the whole world can see it. So it's more of a streamlined approach to the current currency system. It's like electronic currency, let's say in the most simple terms. But you can put pictures on it, you can trade it, and you can exchange it, just like dollar for euro or dollar for peso or something like this. Different tokens have different values against each other. And then NFT is like it's like a digital football card. Like you have your FIFA cards, with Ronaldo, with I know you're from Croatia. Let's say basketball cards, Tony Kukoc, or this guy from Chicago Bulls from Croatia who played with Michael Jordan. They have these trading cards, but instead they're online, and then they are lined up to a blockchain address, so you know that you have the real one, even though people can copy it. But people can copy a regular baseball card or football card as well. They could go to a print shop, but this way you have it authenticated. That it's you can say that the serial number on this matches. You can see who's traded it. So it's basically just an electronic version of a trading card. And then, but the advantage of the NFT is that it can be used in a game. It can have this same code in the computer. You can use it as a membership. So that would be your access to a membership. So if you want to join a game or you want to join a special chat group, it'll check against this address. So you have this in your wallet, in your virtual wallet, and if it sees it there and it already knows, so you can put a fake one in there, but it won't work because it won't have the same address. I don't know if that explains it. It's very hard to explain in a very rudimentary term, but I think that explains it. Like you have a wallet, then you have a virtual wallet, you have a token, a virtual token, like virtual money, and then you have like cards, like trading cards, whether it's Magic the Gathering or football or basketball. Everyone likes these cards with the players, and some become worth a lot, some aren't worth so much. But this can go one step further, and it can get you into you can show this card and you can get into a club, or you can play a game with it.
I understand. Tell me about the mission. What is the priority mission of all these projects, Hugot project? What is the priority mission? Because in that area, a lot of people are afraid of frauds, But can you explain what is the purpose? What is the mission, main mission of that?
The main mission of the Hugo the Parrot project is to support the African gray parrot, to do it in an efficient way. There's a lot of charity groups out there, but they have these huge overheads. When you donate $1 to them, you're paying like 20 cents of that dollar is paying for the office. Then you're paying all these big salaries, and then you're paying for their big marketing. And very little of that money actually reaches the cause. And we're trying to find a more efficient way to support a cause, to maybe instead of putting like a lot of these organizations only put out, sometimes even as low as 20 or 30%. We're looking to put 80% or more to the cause, have very little overheads and, work from home. And, like I said, there are three things we're looking to support. We're looking to support like the African gray parrots that the owners have given up and have like a rescue. And there's a park in Croatia. There's a guy in Croatia, it's called Papago Park in Croatia. Mm-hmm. And he rescues the birds from the owners who can't handle it. So we would support him. Then we would look for people who are trying to support the habitat in the Congo where the African gray parrots come from to, buy and set aside the forest. And then the third one would be to provide scholarship to veterinary students who are going to take an interest in birds. It would be, we would like them to be specifically to do African gray parrots, but I don't think they'd get enough business. So we would be, in general, they would specialize in birds in general, whether it's raptors, or parrots or small birds, that they would take that specialty and they would get a scholarship for it. So that's what we're looking to do. And we would like to be established in Croatia. And then, once this project goes, it gets well known, there could take donations from many channels. We would have merchandising and all these other different ways to raise money for this cause and to run it professionally.
Nice.
I don't know if that answered. Yeah, I don't know if that answers the question or not. Or
yeah, you mentioned that one part of that project will be trying to buy some lands in Congo, because the African gray is from Congo originally. So I'm familiar with Africa. I spent some time over there working. So I know those countries are messy countries. It's nothing works, nothing is functioning. It's really hard to do things over there, and especially Congo. Congo is in a mess. So is it a little bit too challenging for you, or you can handle it?
I guess what we would do in that situation, I know it's hard, right? It's just like in Brazil when they do this, but I guess we would have to partner up with an organization that's already doing something like this. I'm absolutely sure we're not the first people to think of this. So there must be somebody out there we would partner with that is doing good work and knows how to navigate the bureaucracy. Unless Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates takes a liking to this project, it would be very difficult or next to impossible for us to set up our own team. We would have to partner with another organization, and then we would have to get some accounting from them to make sure that this money is hitting the targets. Yes, it is a bit ambitious, and I've given it thought because Africa makes Brazil look like Germany or Sweden, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
I mean, it is very hard to navigate, but there has to be somebody already working in this space to do the forest preservation and habitat, so.
Yeah, understand perfectly. But I will tell you this: if you manage that, if you do that, I am volunteer to train the rangers over there to take care of the parrots. So I'm expert in that. So you can count on me. Okay.
Yeah, that would be cool. There's a lot going on in Congo. Actually, they have there's like the chimpanzees there, right? There's like this tribe of chimpanzees that has actually become smarter. And it's become like this super tribe. So there's a lot of stuff going on in those forests there.
Oh yeah. And gorillas and everything. Yeah, it's amazing over there. And
they're evolving. The thing is, I've heard the animals there are actually still evolving. They're still, they're not finished. Like they're getting smarter, and even they're picking up things from the people and copying from the people even.
Yeah, because it's, a lot of years of war, and the animals needs to adapt to survive. That's it.
Yeah,
I think that's the reason. How did you come with the idea of combining the pet blogging with blockchain technology?
Well, that's what it came down to. The hardest thing in blockchain projects is to get followers and get users. And when I saw that the Hugo the Parrot, and then getting real users, most blockchain projects, they get bot farms from China to make them have like 600,000 Twitter followers. And then you look at their engagement, there's only like 2 likes, right? Okay, you have 600,000 followers. You would think that you would get like but then I look at Hugo the Parrot, there's actually a lot of engagement. For 40,000 followers, it's getting more engagement than some of these crypto projects. So I was wondering if there's a way, like he's already got the following. He's already got a loyal following and already got their trust. But if we could present them, they want to help Hugo. There's people calling Andrew wanting to send money to Hugo, and Andrew doesn't know what to even do. It's like I said, let's do this crypto project. Let's offer the people something. They have a vehicle to help Hugo. They have a receipt for their donations, having the token, and then we can have it on the blockchain that everything is accounted for, that the money is actually hitting where it's supposed to hit. It's not just buying Lamborghinis, for the parrot, So it was an idea that, let's leverage the existing following. He's got an existing Facebook following, existing YouTube following, and let's educate that following about blockchain technology and how it can be used to do some good. It can be used for something with purpose. So that's where the idea came from, because that's the biggest challenge every project, even my own company, to find followers, to find users. There's so much competition, like we were talking about earlier. In Croatia, you're competing with the weather. And like in Norway, you're competing with Counter-Strike. Every second Norwegian plays Fortnite or Counter-Strike who's in video games. So to show them something new, it's hard. You really have to have a new mousetrap. And then the attention span is very narrow because something new comes up. But maybe there's another way, that there's already this existing following that cares about a pet. Nobody has tried this. Dogecoin, kind of, the guy based the coin off of his dog. And it's the 7th largest cryptocurrency in the world because Elon Musk took a liking to it. But imagine having something like that with a parrot, and the name of the token is Parrot, Parrot, but it's actually donating and it's actually going to a cause. It's like a vehicle to do some good in the world, But yeah, the idea came from like that. There's already this existing following. He's already gotten the hard work done, finding the followers, finding the users, the people with the interest. That's the hard work.
Yeah.
Finding real human being followers. That is the hardest thing in the world. You're a podcaster. You probably understand exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. Totally. Totally. Solana blockchain. Why did you choose, and what is that?
Solana is what's called a proof of stake blockchain. It's one of the top 10 of all the blockchains. So it's got a lot of users. It's got a lot of publicity. It's a technology my business partner and I are very familiar with. They have a very good tool set. It's very easy to use. It's very user friendly. They have this Phantom wallet. It's actually, I think, out of all the wallets we've tried out on all the different blockchains, it's the easiest one. And now it works with also Polygon and also Ethereum. So we chose it for that. It seemed to be the most user-friendly. And believe me, blockchain is hard. Even the friendly ones are not easy, but Solana seems to be on the right track to creating a user-friendly ecosystem. But there's also Polygon, Matic, we're open to that. It can change. It's always changing. So we are really close between the Polygon, which is being used by Starbucks, and which is being used by, I think, Reddit and Disney. So, but we didn't want Ethereum because the fees, right? Ethereum, every time you trade some money or buy something on the market, you can get hit with like an $80 gas fee. And some, grandmother that likes Hugo the Parrot, let's say she pays $80 gas fee. Can you imagine the PR disaster we would have? That 80-year-old grandmother has a Croatian grandson. Can you imagine?
Oh yeah. Crazy.
So
Tell me,
yeah, the proof, yeah. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. Sorry.
So the proof of stake coins, they have very high transaction speed, very low fees. But the problem with them are that if there's a lot of people using it at once, then it slows down. For like Ethereum, if a lot of people are using it at once, then the fees go up. So you'll get your transaction, but you could end up paying like some $200-300 for a $5 thing. But Ethereum is always up and running. But with Solana and with Polygon, if a lot of people use it, it just shuts down. You'll never pay the crazy fees, but you won't get to use it. So it's like you have to pick your pain, and we thought it's better that people avoid the fees. You know, we don't want to have high fees for people.
That's nice. That's nice. Tell me, that money in the project will rise, right? How you think? How you gonna put it in a conservation program in Croatia, the parrot or bird conservation program in Croatia?
Well, we would partner with this Papago Park in Croatia. That would be the first step because they're already up and running, and inject money into them. And then, you know, they would give some acknowledgement that they received the money, you know, do a YouTube with them or something and show that it works. And then we would end up setting up our own, you know, like the scholarship fund. And then obviously the person who gets this scholarship, you know, is going to go to a vet school, and there'll be some videos to prove that we did it, you know, that this wasn't all set up. So our thoughts are to first partner with existing people who are already doing something, and then inject money into their organizations. And then eventually, like I say, raise, and if more money comes in and more people are hopping on, and then we can look for things to do ourselves, you know, create our own projects around the gray parrots.
Good. You know, you talk obviously you talk with Andrew about the current situation about, you know, birds and parrots in Croatia. So why do you think it's so important, this project, for that current situation?
I think I'm looking at it from a global perspective. I mean, I know Andrew's in Croatia. Croatia is a small country. The word can spread pretty quick. I think people in Croatia, just from my impression, they very much care about nature, you know, because they're very connected to it. You know, they live on this beautiful coast, and it is the value of the country, right? It's what makes Croatia valuable, is this nature. You know, and so I think it's a good place to start. But we definitely have a global perspective. The African gray parrot community crosses all the borders. There's Americans into this, South Americans, people in Japan, people in Africa, you name it, Middle East. I mean, it's a very interesting species of bird. It has a very high vocabulary, high intelligence, needs a lot of attention. So we were looking from that perspective that, you know, I know Andrew is prominent in this community, and it would be just a good starting point. And this would be a good way maybe for Croatia to get introduced into crypto in a positive way. You know, I know in Croatia there's a lot of skepticism because there's been some scandals, and then in general, like I say, in Croatia, it's not, people are outside a lot. You know, but maybe this would be something that would interest them. The little bit of time we can get them on the computer, this would be interesting to them. If they're taking the time to watch the parrot, if they're taking the time, maybe they would like to go that step further, and this would be the way to learn crypto. Yeah.
What is the benefits if you buy a token, if you are an NFT holder? What is the benefit? The people want to know that.
The main benefit is that you have bought it, you made the donation. Now there's always this, I don't want to give investment advice or create any false hope, but there's always, of course, like anything in crypto, this thing that this could catch on and become some meme coin or meme token, and maybe the value could rise if the popularity goes up, it becomes a thing. The other benefit is, I mean, not from the speculation, but you know, it's a marker that you've made a donation to the cause. But holding the token, you'll get dropped an NFT. It's like a virtual picture. So we'll have some artwork created of Hugo the parrot different styles of artwork. There'll be different levels of NFTs. Some will be just ordinary. They get you some basic benefits. And then there'll be some like middle ones that maybe you get to go on a video conference with Hugo the Parrot. And then there might even be some like platinum or gold NFTs, maybe just very rare, ultra rare, just like the very rare Pokemon cards, where you can meet Andrew and Tiana, in Croatia, and there'll be like a dinner and something like this, just like 5 of these in the whole world, and they'll be incredibly valuable that you can go to an event, like a live event. It'll be like your ticket, and you can sell it. We were doing it reverse. Most projects, they do the NFT first, and then they drop the tokens. But we wanted to sell the tokens because it's more democratic. All the tokens are the same, and then drop the NFTs to people. Because before, people would have to log in at 2 a.m. to get in line for an NFT, and then we don't want that. The tokens can be bought on an exchange. They can hold them. They don't have to stay up at 2 and we'll just airdrop it to them. So I guess you're asking the benefit. They'll get to take part in a new technology, but mostly the benefit is that they're taking part like on the ground floor of a new way to do fundraising. A new way to utilize an audience, an existing audience, that's following a pet or something, and then that audience can now start taking part in a bigger purpose.
Yeah, understand. Tell me, is there any other way to help the project, or it's only to become an NTF holder?
When you say like another, I'm not following. Another.
It's there is another way to help the project.
Well, right now the project needs publicity. We're getting the word out and getting like a sprint going where we can do a launch event. We have to get up to like around 30,000 people interested in this. So our Twitter numbers and everything right now are only in I think around 100 or so. So we have to get the following going and get this critical mass so we can sell out the first allotment of coins. So we'll sell out the first 10% of the tokens and then use that to do some marketing, make some initial donations, and get this going, get listed on a bigger exchange where they can bring in more people, more and get more interest, like get influencers and these people in the crypto community. So we would like to sell out the first 10% of the tokens to the Hugo followers and to people genuinely interested in parrots. And then we would use that money to get our way into the crypto community to get the other 90% sold. And hopefully that would be some benefit to the first round people. And then that publicity hopefully will bring more interest in the overall African gray parrots. And when people, like you say, own these tokens, the benefit is that they have like a memento, a symbol. They have a symbol that this is something they care about.
Good. What is the future plan after the successful token launch? What is the future plan of this project?
To keep expanding the awareness, to create an ecosystem to consume this token. So you would use this token, like you could buy some T-shirts with it, or you can use it to buy, like in the NFT games, like a lot of games you can play for free, like 3 or 4 times, and then you have to pay to keep going. It's like this freemium, they call it, or something. And the vision would be like we would have these kind of games that people could have some enjoyment for free, but if they want to keep going or they want to get to a higher level, they would pay with the tokens, and that would create demand for the tokens. And obviously that would keep the funds coming in for the parrot. So this would be, instead of just making donations, we could gamify this. You could have some fun while you're helping a cause. It's like, I guess, we have these casino nights, to raise money for schools in America or something. They have like a casino night, and all the money that is gained goes to pay for the school's new gymnasium or something. It would, versus just giving a donation. Maybe it would create some more interest and make it more social and more fun and bring the people with like-minded people together.
Yeah. Talking about the games, are you gonna use those games to educate people about all this matter?
Yeah, that's what
About
Andrew
parent.
had envisioned. Andrew was very clear that he wanted some education. So we could have like tips on like how to care for your parrot, tips on the responsibility, statistics, facts about African gray parrots. But yeah, there would be a lot of education, I guess, mostly around the care and the responsibility, because that's where once people understand that, then they don't go through the trouble. Also, there's a lot of smuggling of the African gray parrot. So maybe to educate people that this bird was born in a proper place and not smuggled in. So we would have to educate people on many aspects, and I think that would create a lot of opportunities in the game. Like to pass a screen, you have to read this or answer some questions, like have a trivia type of thing element to the game.
Tell me, so far, are you satisfied with the project? What kind of response you have from the audience?
Am I satisfied? I'm satisfied with the partnership I have with Andrew. I'm satisfied with the way the website's gone. The token has already been set up, but it's been very, very challenging getting the followers and getting people interested. And I have to say, I admit, when I was putting together the manuals on the website, like how to buy the token, the 4 steps, it's not easy. That's the challenge. That has to come from something bigger than us. The crypto community needs to recognize that if crypto is going to get adopted, it has to be easy. We live in a society where everything is easy. I bought a GoPro camera the other day. You take it out of the box and the thing just works. You turn on Skype, right? It just works. You use WhatsApp, you download the app and it imports your contacts and it just works. But crypto, it takes several steps here. So if you're in Croatia and you wanna buy Hugo the Parrot token, so you have to do some things first. Let me just open up the manual here and go through this. So first we tell people follow us on Twitter, because that's where we do all the updates. And having a big Twitter following gets you picked up in the crypto community. The crypto community, everything you are is based on how many Twitter followers you have. That's your social score. They have like a social scoring thing there. So after that, you have to open up this Phantom wallet. This is where you store your tokens. So then you go to this thing called the Bitcoin store. In Croatia, they have these like shops in Zagreb and Split, I think maybe in some other towns, and you go there and you go with your euros or your kroners. I think you have crowns in Croatia. And you buy.
Euro.
Well, you have euro. You got that's right. Yeah. And you buy it for. You trade your. You can do it with card or you can do it with cash, and you get your Solana tokens or your USDC tokens, and then they put it in your Phantom wallet. That's why you have to have the wallet first. So you open the wallet, you go buy the tokens, you give your money, then they put tokens in your wallet, and then you go to an exchange. It's just like now you have to go to another place. You have to go to the store. And then you exchange your dollar tokens or your Solana tokens for the Hugo tokens. So there's no way right now that a guy in Croatia or a lady in Croatia can just take their credit card and straight buy the tokens. They have to. So you have someone. Yeah, you have someone who's drank a few margaritas on a nice boat in the Split Harbor, and then you're trying to show them how to buy a Hugo token. Believe me, I think they'll throw the phone in the sea. Going through all these hoops. Nobody has patience for this, and this is something we need help. And I've tried contacting the crypto community people, but they don't seem to understand this. They're in their own world. It's very frustrating. They think that they have some big revolution here, but the big revolutions happen when it's easy. Like the reason why Apple took off, or any of these products, is because it's easier than what you're already using. Like Netflix, right? It's easier than going down to the store and renting a DVD. You just turn it on, you put in your credit card, and for $10 a month, you're watching movies. This is what the people want. They want to buy this token, but they don't want to go through this. They don't. This is the biggest challenge, and this is, I don't know if we could ever reach someone from the crypto community if they're hearing this. You have to be able to buy any token with a credit card. They have to stop fighting with the authorities. They have to start finding a way to work with the banking system. But a lot of them are these counterculture people, and they want to create something completely new. But this thing that's completely new, it's very hard for like a 50-year-old parrot enthusiast who's on YouTube watching parrot videos to get into.
Yeah.
You feel my pain, right?
Yeah, it's challenging. A lot of challenges. But I trust in this project. For me, it has a sense. It's like nice. The goal is nice. Goal is really nice, but protecting the wildlife, protecting the parrots and stuff like that, for me, that works, So if the people are thinking like that, that might work.
Yeah, it's a streamlined way. It's all digital, so it doesn't make any extra overhead or pollution to stop, stop the destruction of nature. It's using the digital technology. It makes things more efficient. But like I said, the only barrier now is like educating the general population like how to do crypto, and it's hard. And people make a lot of mistakes and they lose all their money. People click on the wrong button, they go to the wrong website, and next thing you know, their whole wallet is empty. And some people they start with a couple $100, couple $1,000, and they make one wrong mouse click, and it's So this is something
frustrating.
Yeah, the crypto industry has to make everything Apple easy,
Yeah, for sure. Because people most of the people that I know, including me, doesn't know anything about crypto.
Well,
That's
no, I know. It's like weird when internet came out in the early 90s, everyone was on email within 3 years. There was a lot of platforms that made email, Hotmail, America Online. It was very easy. And for some reason, crypto struggles. It's not your fault. I don't fault anyone. I mean, I'm an IT guy. I'm an engineer, and my business partner, he's like one of the best programmers in the world in his field in Java. It was hard for him to go through these steps. He's like, "Why is this so hard?"
Yeah.
So that's like, what's our challenge? What's our challenge? This is something that like we have to get out there. I have to be on more podcasts and get a message to the crypto community. I want to sell my token with a credit card. People should not have to go to a Bitcoin store and buy this token to exchange that token,
Yeah. But the first step will be to open the Twitter account and start following you, right?
Yes, absolutely. So
okay. The Twitter in Croatia, the Twitter is not so popular. It's more in the United States of America. The people are using Facebook, Facebook, and I think so.
I know Facebook is very good in Croatia because Facebook is like losing popularity in a lot of places. But again, I think it's this that Croatian people, their lifestyle is different. Like I said, they're more outdoors oriented, more action oriented. So they're not sitting there saying, "Oh, I have to be on Instagram, I have to be on this, I have to be on that." They're going with what they already know. It works. Why change, right? I understand them. But yeah, Twitter, it's a big thing in America. It's a big thing with the crypto community. I would say it's a thing in like, I seen it in Norway that a lot of journalists use it, and but still America, like you can't touch it. Yeah, Twitter is like definitely the thing in America. But and with crypto community, it's very popular. I think because they don't have all this KYC and all this checking, because a lot of crypto people, they don't want to say who they are. Where Facebook, you have to show who you are, or LinkedIn, you have to show who you are. I think that's why. But yeah, once you get on the crypto, on the Twitter, then you open up this Phantom wallet. And, we have the links on the website. And that's very easy to use by itself. And then from there, that's a place for you to deposit your crypto into. So it's like a wallet. So you want to have a wallet first, before you go and you put money into it. And then you go to the Bitcoin store and you exchange your fiat, your euros, or, if you have some Bitcoin or whatever, you exchange it for a US dollar coin on the Solana network or the Solana token. But I would say this is a US dollar coin because it's more stable. It's not going up and down every day, 80% here. It's not all over the place. And then now you have some tokens in your wallet. Then you have to go to the exchange, just like a stock exchange or even like a store, and there you trade your US dollar tokens or use your US dollar tokens to buy the Hugot, the Parrot token. The Parrot token. It's an Orca exchange. It's called Orca. It's a company out of Japan. They made this place you could trade all the different Solana tokens. So there's another one, Jupiter Network too. You can buy the tokens, and then you have the tokens in your wallet, and then you just wait, and then eventually we'll get our NFTs once we sell out this first 10% of the money or 10% of the tokens. Then we can get in good with the crypto community. We can sell out the other 90%. Then we can start dropping the NFTs. So we have to go through this process, this 3-step process.
Yeah.
And if anyone has any questions, they can contact me directly, and I'll walk them through it.
Okay, that's good to know. Tell me, what is the price right now of the token?
It's roughly 10 cents, for one token. It's roughly a dime, like 10 or 12 cents. The exchange sometimes adds a little bit of their own to this too. Like there's some exchange fees. But it's like for $1 you can get 10 tokens and you can have get going, have some fun with it.
Yeah, and that token could rise until $2 or $3, and then you are getting money, right? The
we don't know what can happen. The whole crypto market depends on the interest rates in the U.S. So you have this like Federal Reserve Bank, and they're setting these interest rates. So right now they're raising rates because they're afraid of the inflation. The COVID created a lot of inflation. So to keep price stability, you're living in South America. I think you know all about inflation. They have to raise the interest rates to cool. So I think once this, they're saying inflation in the U.S. is already slowing down. So once this Federal Reserve starts lowering the interest rates, then crypto, stocks, houses, baseball cards, art, everything that people invest into starts picking up. Because right now, like when the interest rates are high, there's less money supply in the market. So all of the money is coming out of these assets. People have to sell things. But when the rates go down, it becomes cheaper to borrow money. So if interest rates keep dropping, people start borrowing money, and then all these things start going up in price. So that's the mechanism that's controlling the crypto, is the interest rates in America, more or less, and Europe probably for that matter, European Union. But they're kind of coordinated with the U.S. The U.S. and Europe are coordinating the interest rate action. So I would say that people should look out for news on inflation in America. If inflation in America starts going down, then everything like stock prices and house prices and crypto and Mickey Mantle baseball card, all this stuff will take off again.
Yeah. So it's a smart investment, right?
I can't comment on that. That's it depends, right? We can't see the future, so that would be if we can sell out all the coins and we can get this going. I think it's a great. There'll be rewards for people. I think it would be very rewarding. People who are in early, but there's risks. There's a lot of risks in this game. And I don't want to be sitting here selling something. I don't want to make promises I can't keep. So if you're going into this, you're going into it because you want to help Hugo the Parrot. You like this cause. You like this idea. It's fun. We all pay to have fun, right? We pay to go to the video arcade. We pay to go to the amusement park. We pay for movies. It's entertainment. That's the way you have to see it. But different than other it's just like you go to a concert. You get to keep the ticket, right? You go to a Led Zeppelin concert in Colombia, or I think you're in Colombia. You go there and you keep that ticket, and maybe 10 years later it sells for a lot of money. It's because it's like, Led Zeppelin or the Beatles or whatever. You have some memento, and then you see on like that pawn shops TV series, people come in with old things and it sells for crazy money. So there's always that chance. With this Hugo the Parrot token, it's the same thing, just like a collectible, just like going to a concert ticket stub, or you're going to some World Cup game and you have that ticket, like let's say Colombia beats Brazil and you have that ticket thing, and it's like everybody wants to collect it. It's like that speculation. It's not. This is not like buying stock in the Johnson & Johnson company in America, or buying stock in the Microsoft. That's, I think, more sure that that's going to go up, right? This is entertainment. This is for fun. And this is like you're doing it because you believe in a cause. You don't want to get into this like because you want to get rich. It's just like when you go to an art gallery and you say, if I buy this painting, will it go up and will it make me rich? And they always tell you, you should only buy art because you like it. You buy art that you like. If it happens to be a Pablo Picasso type of thing or something.
I understand. I understand. Okay, Aleksander, it's been more than 1 hour. So if you have something else to say on the end of this podcast, you go ahead. One message or something like that.
Yeah, if you want to learn more about the project, the Hugo the Parrot project, visit hugotheparrot.com. There's the website there, and from that website, there's all the links to the white paper, to the YouTube channel, and you can learn all about the project there. You can get in touch with me directly. I'd be glad to talk to you about it. Like I said, if you need help getting on board and need help to get a token or something, let me know. I'll walk you through all the steps. I'm willing to do that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vedran.
Thank you, Aleksander Grover. My nice people, that was Aleksander Grover. I hope that you enjoyed this conversation. And Aleksander, thank you very much, and we will be in contact.
Thank you. Thank you, Vedran. Thank you. Bye-bye.